Hello, incredible ones. Darnyelle here. Okay. Y'all know I love highlighting my amazing and phenomenal clients. And this time around, I am probably really just reintroducing because this man is everywhere. I don't think I can pick up my app and go onto Facebook without seeing an ad from him, which means that he's on the top of his game. So I'm excited to share with you guys Marquel Russell. Hey, Marquel.
Hey, Darnyelle, how you doing? Thank you for having me on.
I'm good. I'm so good. So take a minute and just tell everybody who you are in your own words.
So I'm Marquel Russell, and mainly we help client-based businesses like attract clients on autopilot and scale their business while working 50% less. So we help them go from like hustling and figuring out where they're going to get clients from to like leveraging paid advertising to attracting an unlimited amount of leads and convert those leads into $3,000 to $10,000 more clients.
So
that's what I'm about a business standpoint. Go ahead.
So I love y'all, how you see how he's all nonchalant, like this is what we do. And he's saying it like he's saying my favorite color is clear, right? But what y'all don't know is that he is one of the baddest in the game. His clients over just the last few years, $20 million. They generated combined $20 million. So when it comes to his craft, he's on the top of his game. And being me, I was actually, really humbled, honored, and blown away that he wanted to come and work with me, because when I met Marquel, his business had already done over $600,000. He's not new to this. He's true to this. So Marquel, what was it about me that made you say, I need to get in her space and have her help me?
I think the biggest thing for you is like I'm more heavy action. I can implement. I'm somewhat of a systems thinker, and I can work great. If you give me a checklist and like, all right, do this, I can go implement. Mm-hmm. And then you teach from that standpoint. So you're like, I came to your event initially and you had the binder, you had the whole methodology broke out. And me in my mind, I'm like, all right, this is great. 3 days, content was crazy. I got the whole binder. I'm like, yeah, I can go and figure this stuff out. But I understand the value of like collapsing time. So I'm like, all right, I just need to pay you more money so you can help me implement. Because I think after the first day, I already knew it was like, okay, I'm going to have to give her some more money because I wanted to help me implement this stuff. Because I know I'm heavy implementation. Mm-hmm. In the way you teach. You're like checklist, boom, 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 boom. And I love like being able to check off a list because I can do that. And I know if I do this, it's like a recipe. It's like if you're making a cake, you put this recipe, you put this recipe, you put this recipe, and now you got a cake. So I'm like, if you give me the recipe, I'll do it. And the fact that you talk in that way, and I knew I can go through and check it off, it was a total no-brainer for me because I know I'll implement. So I'll bet on me. It's like, if it's up to me to implement the checklist, this is an easy decision.
Yeah, I mean, and let me just sidebar and say this about Marquel. I don't know that I've been in business 12 years. I don't know if I've ever had a client like Marquel. Like he's even downplaying his implementing skills. This brother is no joke, which is why he's able to help his clients in the way that he is, because it like he said, I'm always betting on me. And I love working with clients like Marquel who know who they are, who know what they do and bring to the table, but just need help formulating all of the systems to go to the next level. So, and the crux of our work was specifically around teaching him how to create core systems in his business to get him to the $1 million mark, and specifically to shift his business model to include doing live events, right?
Right.
So tell them what happened. So you came to the class 2 months later, what happened?
Yeah, so I came to the class 2 months later. So at the event, this was September, I was like September 13th, I want to say. And at that event, I decided, all right, I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a shot. So, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is a big undertaking. So I was like, the best way to figure it out is like, let me just dive in. So I made a post and was like, hey, I'm going to do an event December 7th. So this is like less than 60 days away. And I had a few people that bought a ticket immediately. So I committed to the event. I decided to give Darnyelle some more money. We had a conversation to really flush it all out. And then our first event, I think we did, of course, we sold out the event. So our goal was to sell 100 seats. I think we sold like 130. Mm-hmm. So we sold out the event within those 45 to 50 days at the event.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
Because he's talking too fast, and I need y'all to get this.
Gotcha.
So he came to my training for 3 days, and I taught how to profit from live events.
Yep.
At that event, he said, I'm going to do this, put it out there, sold tickets right away, committed to the event. Less than 60 days later, he had 130 people coming to an event.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm dialing this back because when it comes to what your girl knows and what she knows how to do, she knows what she knows how to do. Okay. Yeah, sure. So 130 people, sold out event. Okay. Then what happened?
So we had a sold out event. So it was standing room only. It was crazy. So we did that. And then from that event, I want to say we did an extra, I think we did like 50K at the event, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we did like 50K at that event. It was crazy. And then, now here's the crazy thing. The event wasn't like a 3-day event. It was like 3 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours, I think.
Yeah, so it was like from 8 to 2. So, probably say like 4 hours of content or something like that. Mm-hmm. We did like 50 grand at that event.
Okay, hold on. We got to pause in. Because he said, because see, this is the thing. When you're working with a person who is used to getting results, the results that they get are no big deal. But I know some of y'all who are watching this right now and like on the edge of your seats, like taking in every moment, are like, wait a minute. He did an event with 4 hours worth of content and he generated $50,000.
Yeah.
And this is not an infomercial, but I need you to know that there's a but wait, there's more moment coming. And this is all based on my ability to create systems for him to show him how to do it in a way that's going to produce results. Write this down. Systems make success predictable.
For sure.
Okay, so right now we're at 50,000. We're actually at more than that. We're probably at about almost 70,000. No, well, maybe 60,000 because of the 60 from the first event. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're at 60,000 so far in 60 days. Okay. Yeah. Keep going.
So we did about 50 that day, and that kind of set us up for our next event, which was our 3-day intensive. Mm-hmm. So we did our 3-day intensive. This was about 6 weeks after. So within about 50 days, we did the 1-day event where we did the 50. Within about 6 weeks after that, like immediately 6 weeks after, so a month and a half, we had our 3-day event, and I want to say we did about 120 in sales or something like that.
We did 130 on.
We did 130 in sales at that event. So, and it was like, the beautiful thing I like about the process is like, you don't gotta be smart to do this stuff. It's like, it's literally like checklists. It's like, cause if you give me a checklist, I can do a checklist. Right. It's like checklist, do this. And then I was able to bring the team together. So it really showed me the team to have in place, what to say, what the team should be doing, like what should be on the tables, what should be on the slides, how the slides should be set up, how the order form should look like, literally everything. Mm-hmm. And then we just followed it literally paint by number. So yeah, so it was crazy.
And like, again, I think it's important for you guys who are watching this, who are thinking, right? Because there's lots of people out in the marketplace who are like, I can help you get from here to there. And they probably can. But what you want to make sure that you're looking for is someone who's already got a proven system that is working. What you just heard Marquel say is that in about 3 months' time, he generated $180,000.
Yeah.
In about 3 months' time. Like, where is that happening?
That's true.
Right? And so, Marquel, as they're listening to this and they're trying to determine, like, well, you know what? Before we even talk about that, let's talk about how adding this to your business model, what kind of a difference is that going to make in your life? So let's not talk about the business side, but in your life, what kind of a difference is this additional money? Because this adding live events to your business model can generate another $1 million a year for you, doing it in succession several times a year. So what kind of a difference does that make?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like you said, just from the event model, we'll do at least $1 million plus just from the event model. Because the beautiful thing is it's like that first event we just told y'all about, it wasn't a fluke because we just did the first 1-day event for the next series. So we basically were going to do it quarterly. So we just did our 1-day event. The numbers were still about the same. And now we're going to do our 3-day event. So it's literally, once you get it, it's like you just rinse and repeat it. So to answer your question, just from the event, instead of adding an extra $1 million. But even on top of that, it's like you're able to impact so many more people, right? And that's the thing that really gets me excited because I got 100 plus people in the room. The majority of these people I never met before. They've experienced my stuff online, but now we're meeting in person, and now it's just a higher level of transformation that you can impact more people. And then from a conversion standpoint, on your list, if we're talking about marketing, on your email list or your audience, you got so many unconverted leads that we'll just call it, because people convert in different areas. So most people, if you have a scheduled call model or you have a sales page model, most people aren't going to go to your sales page and buy. Or most people aren't going to buy on your webinar, or they may not ever schedule a call, but they'll come to an event and then they'll buy and then go whatever your ascension path is. So from the impact, obviously from a monetary standpoint is great, but just because I know events are transformational. Anytime I go to an event, it always creates something, a transformation in me that I wouldn't have got online.
Right.
So that's huge.
Yeah, definitely. And then let's talk about some of the other things, because we did get to touch some other areas of your business from a system standpoint. So let's talk a little bit about what you gained from working with me there, because everybody who is going to come into my world isn't going to be interested in adding live events to their business. Right. What else did you get as a multiple six-figure on the way to seven-figure business owner hiring me and working with me to help you in your business?
I think some of the biggest things was like how you basically compartmentalize, I think if I'm using the right word, like the portions of the business. So you got obviously the operations, you got the financial systems, you got the operational systems, you got the marketing systems, and you got the sales system. So like really dialing that in. And a lot of stuff we were doing great in the marketing and sales arena. And obviously we was able to tighten some stuff up as well. But then when it came down to even the finances and the operations, like, all right, what team should be in place? You know, what other things you should have, even from a legal standpoint, making sure these legal things, it's just like the things you don't really think about, because as an entrepreneur, you're like, all right, you can make money really well, right? But it's just these other things that you don't even think about. Like, all right, dang, all right, I didn't even think about that. Or even this, like, I didn't even think about that. So it's like having those things in place. And a huge nugget for me was when you was like, hey, you're not spending enough money. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's like you was like, you don't want to make $1 million, $2, $3 million or $1 million and you pay, you know, 600 or 700 of it in taxes, right? You want to make sure you're spending money in the right places, and don't be, because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, and in my mind, even I was like, all right, maybe we're spending too much. Mm-hmm. But after we looked at everything, you was like, you're actually not spending enough. You want to make sure you're spending enough in the right places. And that actually resulted in raises for a lot of people on our team. Us being able to hire more people, so we were able to employ more people, and I think those were huge. So now we're looking at the business like, all right, this department, this department, this department, this department. So now everything is way more systemized, and I feel like over the past, since we've connected, is like now we're actually operating way more as a company. So I feel like was a company before, but it's a difference in like, okay, you got a business, right, and you're making some things happen, but now you're operating like a real enterprise. So I think that was a huge shift as well.
Yeah, and you didn't talk about your company car.
You're right, exactly. Because like, and here's the crazy thing: I had the car before, right? But then Darnyelle broke down to me like, "Hey, do the company car like this and things like." And this is stuff like you've thought about but just haven't done. So I went and got the company car. So now we got the company car in the company name and all that cool stuff, which is a huge blessing. And and you had to get with Darnyelle to get the benefits of all that.
right.
That was a huge blessing as well. And just how we function, like now, even with our events, the way you help me structure from a system standpoint, when we do our events, all I got to do is show up.
Right.
And I just do my thing. And then the team handles everything else, and everybody else is happy to do it. Even with our company, from a coaching standpoint, our stuff is way more systemized, all the way down from our calls, because I'm looking at the business way differently. I'm like removing myself from as much stuff as possible, so I'm not the bottleneck. And now the whole thing just runs, whether I'm in, Fiji for a month and I don't want to get online or whatever, the business just continues to run and churn like a well-oiled system. So it's just, things are like, we're just operating way more from a company standpoint as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So someone walked up to you and said, "Hey, Marquel, Darnyelle, what would you say?"
I tell people all the time, like, Darnyelle's the real deal. Like, it's a lot of people who talk the talk, right? But like when it comes down to actually doing and fulfilling on what they say, Darnyelle's definitely over-delivered, went above and beyond. And it's just the real deal. And especially because, like, for me, people call me a business coach. And I tell people this all the time. I told Darnyelle the same thing. People call me a business coach. I'm not so much a business coach. I'm more of a marketing. So if you want more clients, you want to scale the business, you want to automate your lead generation, that's the stuff I do. But when I started working with Darnyelle and I saw her, even the onboarding process was worth the price of admission, because you got so much clarity and there's so much power and clarity. And I was going through this, and I would told Darnyelle, I see how most people would tap out just with the onboarding process, because it's a lot. And you got to really look yourself in the mirror and give yourself a hard look and see, okay, this is where you're tripping at before you even get into the implementation stuff. So it's like real high level business structuring. I mean, the real deal. I tell people all the time, like, Darnyelle is definitely the real deal. I haven't seen anybody else who like do what you do in the way you do it. And I've seen a lot. So
awesome. So there you have it, folks. I mean, I could have easily told you how good I am, but I thought it would be so much better for you to hear from $1 million business owner, right? Like, I mean, in working together, we got him over that hump. His goal this year, he didn't say, I'm going to say, his goal this year is to do 5 million.
Right.
And his business is structured, his company, his empire is structured in a way to allow him to do it without burning out before he cashes out. And that is what I do. So if you are in your business and you are tired of being the bottleneck, you are tired of being unsystematized, and you are ready to show up as the true CEO that you know you were created to be, I want you to go to workwithdarnyelle.com. workwithdarnyelle.com. We'll even actually put it right here on the screen for you. Nothing would bring me more joy than for you to apply to have a conversation with me or a member of my team so that we can help you to leverage and scale your business to your next money milestone. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Marquel.
Absolutely.